long will the parents have to wait to see their daughters? 110. It's just a figure, but these are real people.
Of course.
To those families. Dotun Ojon is still very much here with us. Now, the military was accused of withdrawing hours, if not days, before this abduction actually happened. But of course, the military have denied it. They're saying we've always been 30 kilometers away from where this abduction happened in Dapchi. Should it have even happened in the first place? Obviously, their presence, whether 30 kilometers or 100 kilometers or whatever, did not serve as a deterrent of any kind to the abductors.
Quite unfortunate, quite sad. It shouldn't have happened. You know, if you studied strategy very carefully, like usually I tell you that I grew up in the police barrack, and as a boy we discovered that every what's it called, every burglary case that was reported then when we were growing up actually happened through the back door, either through the kitchen door or through the back door when the people were not in the house. It shows that Yobe is the back door now when it comes to the fight against insurgency. The front door is Borno, and that is where the theater of war is. Now, it's in strategy, when you are securing your front door, it's also part of it to be looking at the back door, because you know that the enemy that declared war against you in the first place is not foolish. He knows that once you have defeated and surrounded the front door, he's going to go through the back door. And that's exactly what happened. The army has come out to celebrate. And you know, we talked about it the other time that, oh, Boko Haram has gone past the level of technical defeat. They have been completely defeated. And I said, no, the fight against terrorism is not a fight of deadline. It's a fight of consistency. So in the first place, if we have got our strategy right, it will not have happened. But again, the members of the military community are part of Nigeria and the system. We have an issue with us as a people. An average Nigerian is not happy. It's not limited to the people under the bridge. It has also extended to the military. And these are the same set of people that can sell information for whatever amount of money that is made available. That is why when people talk about military withdrawal, people like me who understand the workings in our society will not doubt that. Because the same way a man sits in the bank and takes money of customer, the same way a police officer stops you on the road to seek for bribe, the same way a journalist seeks for a brown envelope before they report your event, is the same way an army officer may seek bribe to actually look away from such an incident.
Well, we remember the Buniyadi boys that were slaughtered some time ago. Now, Governor Gaidam of Yobe State said the same thing. It was the same thing. The military withdrew. Within the week the military withdrew, this happened in Buniyadi where the boys were slaughtered. The same way, the same week military withdrew, we're having the girls taken away right now. Now, he blamed the military completely for what just happened as far as this is concerned. But let's bring it back to the issue of the kidnap. Chibok girls and this. Why the girls? What does it really, what is the importance or the value? What's the target? Why the girls?
Okay, as we speak now, I think majorly the girl child is receiving the loudest attention when it comes to the world as we speak. Because over time, people believe that, okay, the girl child has not been well treated. So it is now time for the people to care for the girl child. And again, they are not going to go for the boys. You know why? Because if they need boys, all they need to do is to carry bread and akara and come to town and lure the boys to come and join their army. Because there's already enough army of unemployed people to recruit from. But again, they need enjoyment, quote unquote. They need to force the government. You know, we talked about when this kidnap case happened in Ekpe the other time. I told you some of the intricacies. Now the public will be on the government. The government will be under pressure. So Boko Haram now is at the advantage. The government, as before the kidnap, was on the advantage. They could say, this is exactly what I want. But Boko Haram now is at the advantage.
Is government arming these people by negotiating, you just use that word, and paying ransom?
Of course, all over the world, the government has always gone through the back door to empower terrorists without knowing. Because at every point in time, they are
without knowing.
Because these people are tactical people. They kidnap over 100 people now. Are you going to tell me a lot of money we exchange hands, and they are not going to use the money to eat bread under the bridge?
But one will feel that
for their mission.
Yeah, one will feel that the government even knows better when it comes to releasing whoever is in captivity in exchange for the girls, or giving them money to get the girls back, as the case may be. When it comes to understanding the implication of the security implication of that, government even knows better of
but when there's a lot of pressure on government, whether it's from the BBOG or the rest of society, in fact the global community, do something. Otherwise, this government is going to go down, like it happened with the Jonathan administration. As a matter of fact, Lai Mohammed said this particular abduction was done to embarrass President Buhari.
You know that a government who wants to remain popular may end up unpopular. In the head of government, the people in government want to remain popular, and they can go any length. That's forget about the pressure of the next election. That's another thing entirely. Because the election is coming, we've got to do everything we can do to ensure that we get vote, which is primary. But again, the government wants to remain popular. They want to do everything possible to actually make the society trust in them. And the issue of believability in government is not whether you fight a war and win. It is whether the people can trust you. And trust comes as a result of truth. Once you have the capacity to tell the truth, there are 3 C's in leadership that every one person in Nigeria must learn. Number 1 is courage. Courage is the ability to tell the people that this is exactly what you are going through, even sometimes
when it hurts,
when you are incapacitated, because you are not God. But unfortunately, people want to always cover up in government because they are afraid to become unpopular. And at the end of the day, they remain unpopular.
All right, now the issue of intelligence here, we have heard, in fact, the president tweeted and said, well, I've sent the minister of information and the minister of defense to Yobe State to ascertain the situation. The helicopters are going to, scout round. And in fact, from one of the papers this morning, it was, from the Punch newspaper, it says that the helicopters, jets are going to be all over the place and so on. If this is all going on, it's more than 24 hours, and the girls have not been found anywhere. Remember, let's go back to when they said the Boko Haram has not captured, is not in charge of any territory within Nigeria. If this happened in Yobe State, helicopters have been combing everywhere. They've not found these girls. And it has not been confirmed that they've been taken away into Chad Republic or into Niger Republic, as the case may be, and they can't find these girls. Is it really, can Nigerians trust when the military or even government says there is no territory within Nigeria that is held by Boko Haram?
Only a few people, card-carrying members of APC and serious ones, believed them in the first place when they came out to say that what's it called, Boko Haram is not holding any territory. Only a few percentage of people. But the question is, Mike, Ngozi, do we want to see them or want to rescue them? That's the question. Because even if we identify that they are inside the community and we know the name of the community, can we rescue them?
But we need to see
them
first.
We have given them an opportunity to be ahead of us. Now the only way out is negotiation, the way it's sounding. Except if you want to kill the entire 100 people. You think they are very stupid? They are not. So they are going to build a wall around themselves, and there's nothing.
Government right now is between the devil and the deep blue sea. What are the options really left to government? Because cries now are getting louder that, look, this negotiation and ransom doesn't seem to be working. What exactly will work? What will work? Because now parents are taking the bulls by, the bull by the horns and saying, look, we're going to be at the forefront of this to ensure that whatever we can do to ensure that our girls are rescued, we will do.
The only thing out of this is, for the future, we're talking about the future, is preventive. You understand? You cannot continue to play into the hands of terrorists. And I spoke not as a security expert. Socially, I've just spoken that you cannot continue to play in the hand of terrorists and think that one day you will have an edge. You will not have an edge. There's problem of inadequate men in the military. No doubt about that. But there's also an issue of welfare. There's an issue of welfare. I am not risking my life in my office as we speak. But I can tell it to anybody that my salary can pay 2 to 3 soldiers that are in theater of war. What kind of country do we want to build? If these people, I doubt whether they have life insurance. And you and I that are working on television, we have life insurance.
And that seems to be a question that nobody is asking, you know.
When it comes to...
When the soldiers go to the theater of war, do they go with the mindset that, look, Nigeria is a country that is worth dying for?
Well,
and this girl's worth dying for?
For that, from reports we've gotten, it's not as bad. When it comes to the morale and motivation of the Nigerian military, is quite high.
Well,
and we need to
really
commend that.
So.
What,
Dotun Ojon,
Dotun,
thank you so much for joining us
It's a pleasure,
on TVC Breakfast. As always, we'll see you again next Monday, or much earlier than that.
But you know that the rain has ruined our road in Lagos, so it's
the rains are back.
Dirt in one part,
the
water
rains,
another.
Yeah, the rains
You
are
had to
back.
go there. You had to.
Oh, you have to go there with the dirt.
Don't worry, Lagos
It's
State
okay.
government is doing all it can to be
Thank
on
you,
top
Dotun.
of this situation.
Thank you, Dotun.